Let's go back to where we started. Ooh, too far. Maybe a year ago? For those of you that don't know, I am getting sex reassignment surgery. I must admit, I was very afraid of sharing my bottom surgery video with you. I knew that by sharing such personal and intimate journey on such a huge platform, what it would mean. It would draw a lot of scrutinies and criticisms, but it could also inspire people. I remember thinking, which one would it be? Living my life in fear of other criticisms because I've done it. I spent most of my life living for others, making sure that they were comfortable, making sure that they are okay while my needs are constantly being denied. Or I could be free. So I chose freedom.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar. Another glass and I am going places. Makes me laugh about the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking.
I don't want to live my life regretting on things that I cannot control. I want to focus on things that I can control. A fresh start in life. And that's my choice. Hello everyone, this is Vikki. Welcome back to my channel. We are 1 year post-op. I'm so happy. I can't believe it, but we're finally making the 1 year post-op updates. For a moment, I never thought about doing this, but I'm so happy that I did it because I know it helped out so many people. All of your messages and support that you have sent me for the last couple days for my surgery videos and for the video to hit over 100,000 views. It just means a lot, you know, because I know how emotional that video was for me, putting it together, going through the experience. And to hear that there's so many moms out there with their children who are thinking about transition and they've happened to stumble across my channel, and how the video makes them feel like they can be better parents for their children, and for all the young kids out there who's watching my videos and in me and my videos and my channel, they found support. That's all it is. Like, that's what I wanted. I don't want to get emotional because today is 1 year post-op updates. We have a lot of informations coming. I want to make this the best video for you guys because you deserve it. Every video that I made, my existence in the community, in society, I just hope that every time you see it, it's a love letter that I'm sending from me to all of you. So thank you so much for making it happen. Thank you for all the subscribers who've been with me from the beginning. Thank you for all the new subscribers who, you know, found me. And I'm really, really proud of what we have created. And that's me and you together. So yeah, this is a milestone for me. So yeah, and I'm trying to just pull myself together because I just can't believe it. I can't believe it had reached as many people as it did, and thank you. Yeah. Now let's pull ourselves together because I did not beat all this mug here and not going through this video smoothly. Okay? Do we like it? I love this lip, so it's my favorite red lips. I figure I'm gonna wear it, making this video for you. It's from NARS. It's a liquid lipstick. It's called Don't Stop. And I think that's the motto that we have here. Don't stop believing in ourselves. Don't stop trying. Don't stop loving. And that's what it is. Now, before we get into the video, you guys know the usual. Wow, I haven't done one of these in so long. If you are a new subscriber here, welcome to the family. We're here, we're a supportive community, and we cannot wait to embark on this journey together. And for all the old subscriber, the original subscriber from the beginning, thank you so much. I honestly couldn't have done it without you. Like, you guys are amazing. You make me feel like you guys are my family on here, and I'm so appreciative of all of you. If you want to see more contents from me, follow me on Instagram at I'm Vikki Lee, and also my backup account as Kiki with Vikki. Alright, now let's get into the video. Using the bathroom was very challenging from the beginning, as you know. When I first had my surgery, I had to learn to basically urinate again and also have to have bowel movement differently. In terms of number one, I had a lot of problems there because during the surgery, they nipped my urethra and none of them knew about it. So it's an accident that, you know, no one expected. The first couple months, it's very hard for you to basically train your muscle down there again because it get a little loose, and then sometimes I just don't even feel it and pee would just come out. But we don't have the problems anymore. What we do have problems now, once in a while, I do feel like when I'm outside, I use public bathroom, I have to use like, you know, water on tissue and stuff and wiping it. I don't feel as clean, and I do have some burning sensation. So I do recommend from now on bringing baby wipes with you. So in the bathroom, even when you use public bathroom or any bathroom that's not yours, you can always like wipe it. So this way it feels cleaner. So you don't feel, you know, the tingling sensation after when you like pee and stuff. It doesn't feel good, but I don't know if it works or not, but I just drink cranberry juice and it makes me like go to the bathroom quite often, and I feel I'm just peeing out all the toxins and stuff. So anybody in the medical field, please correct me if that is right. Another thing that I hate is I don't sit on the public toilet, so I'm always squatting. And you know, pee sometimes running down your legs and stuff, so that's just not like, you know, I'm working on it, just like the aiming. It's much easier aiming when I had the other tool, but you know what I mean. We're working on it. I think this is everybody's challenge, not just me. Also, a couple months ago when I was carrying like, you know, bags, because in the first 3 to 6 months, you're not supposed to carry bags over 10 pounds. And I think I was carrying like a heavier grocery bag, and the muscle around my vaginal area started to like spasming, and it feels really hurt. And when I go home, I wiped it. It did get some drop of blood. So I think my body's still healing slowly and nicely inside, but just, you know, for now it's kind of like every little bit of the way I'm facing minor challenges, and I do just want to show it to you guys and be open about it so you know what to prepare for. Once in a while I do get like sharp pain when I pee, like very rarely, but it does happen. They said it's fine. They said it's just like your body kind of like waking up all the muscle, all the sensation. When it comes to number 2, bowel movement, I think I'm healed like 90%. I can't eat too much because if I eat too much and my stomach just get really bloated, and it gives me like back pain. And from the beginning, the back pain that I had was from like, you know, built up gas inside. And it's very, like if you had a surgery, you know by now that it's very hard to pass gas in the first couple months. You kind of like have to push it almost, and it's never happened. I'm sorry, I just have to tell you just because we're all adults here, like we can get over the minor details. I do drink Miralax once in a while when I feel like I'm consuming food that I cannot really digest 100% or it takes longer. I always take Miralax, and the thing with Miralax is you do have to drink tons of water, so this way it can work, and also walk around a little bit, so this way you have some, you know, movements and stuff, so like some cardio. This way it helps with the bowel movement. That's my tip. In terms of scars, there's 3 scars for me. The one on my hip right here is almost disappeared completely. It still has some pigmentation. So the stomach area scar, just because, you know, I've been out in the sun and stuff, it's a little bit more inflated and also pigmented. They told me when I had my 1-year post-op appointment, they told me that they can get rid of it by injecting steroid, but she said it's really painful, so I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, just because my stomach area is very sensitive. I'm just gonna wait a couple months and see how the progress is with, you know, the scar there. If it's not going anywhere and if it's still like that, then I'll take the steroid shot. In terms of the vaginal area, everything's healed up nicely, but you can still see a little bit of, you know, scar tissue. Only on one side though. So I'm massaging it. They said it's like made up of like gelatin. So you do want to massage it. Use a little bit more pressure on the scar so this way it can dissolve by itself. Okay, in terms of dilation, this is a question that I get asked so many times, and I feel like I have been very open about it in every single updates video, and people still have a question about it. So I'm gonna answer it. Dilation is basically what you have to do to maintain the functionality and the width and the length of the vaginal canal. Your body is healing up, you know, it's not used to this like new surgery that you just have, so it's always want to close up. I have friends who had surgery by an amazing doctor in Thailand, and she never dilated, so her vaginal canal completely collapsed. She can still use it for, you know, like the outside pleasure or urination, but she cannot have like intercourse because it's very, very shallow. For me, I went through so much already. I want to use every single inch of my vagina. I'm gonna dilate. And dilation for the first 6 months is a little bit more crucial because you have to dilate 4 times a day. You can do 3 times a day after 6 months. And then after 1 year, year and a half, I think you can do twice a day or once a day. I'm still doing it twice a day. But I think after 2 years or so, you don't have to do it as often. You can do it like maybe once a week. Another question that people always ask me is that does intercourse count as dilation? In many cases that I've heard, they do, but you have to think about it. You have to be extremely active in order for you to substitute that for dilation. Not every partner come in the same shape or sizes. In order for you to maintain what you have down there, you do have to dilate. Depends on your partner's sizes. And sometimes when you switch partners, you know, they're gonna come in different packages. So it would make it a little bit more complicated. So my thing is always dilate. You went through so much already. Why would you want to not keep and maintain the condition, you know? I'm a visual person, so not just talking, I'm gonna show you. You go home with these and they come in 4 different sizes. This right here is Mateo, Lucas, Jerome, and my favorite boy, Rocco. In the very beginning, I dilated with Jerome. So they told me it's fine, it didn't give me any pain, it's the second biggest one, and it was fine. After I had my complication, I basically passed out for like 2 days. They were very afraid that everything's gonna close up. So they encouraged me to dilate again, and I used Mateo. You kind of like slowly increase the sizes. After 3 months, you start dilating with Rocco. And I have been dilating with him since. And I use him because I'm attracted to men. Depends on what you guys want. Name them whatever. They can be non-binary. You know what I mean? I think one of mine is non-binary, just FYI. But yes, so you dilate with this, and there's all the dots, and each dot represents the depth. You always want to hit the last dot right here. So you kind of want to see this last dot disappear into your body. In the beginning, it's easier. You kind of like go all the way here just because your vagina is a little bit more swollen. So it seems like it eats up a lot more. But right now, I always see I'm hitting this dot right here. And another thing about dilation, it shouldn't be painful. It should be a little uncomfortable and new sensation, but it should never be painful. So for me, even though there's sometime in the beginning you see a lot of blood and stuff, it never was painful for me. Dilation never was an issue. It's everything else. So I'm gonna show you 3 different kind of loops that you can dilate with. This is the one that they sent me home with. It's surgery loop. I used it for the first 3 months. You have to buy it online. I don't think you can find it out. I'm gonna show you 3 different consistency and everything that I've tried. Surgery loop is the thickest of the 3, as you can see. When you put surgery loop on this, it seems like you have to put a lot more. And it's really, really thick. And I think it's messy. It's lying very, very easy because it's so thick, so it makes sure that everything is lubricated and you go through them so fast. I think every 2 days I would go through 1 tube. And remember, you have to dilate 4 times a day in the beginning. 40 or 50 bucks, and this is like money you have to pay extra outside. They gave you like a couple of these and then that's it. Even though it works in the beginning, I found better options. The second option that I found is Clean and Stream one. Look at how easy it runs out. It's like water. So the thing about it, when you put it on, it slides right off, and it dried up really fast on the dilator. It makes it harder. It's not as lubricated because it's so like, you can see how surgery lube, I don't know if you can see, but surgery lube is like a thick layer on top, and this one is like spotty. So when you put it on the dilator and you slide it in, it's create like traction. It's going, doesn't go in as smooth. It's like buffering. It's like and that is not smooth. That is not easy. I just don't like it. I just think you need something in between. And that's when I found Lvly. I talked about this so much just because for me it's the best lube. It's still water-based, non-scented. I don't want scented. When you put it on the dilator, it has a clean consistency and you can spread it out in thin layers. And this bottle right here, it lasts me, let's see, I think it lasts me a month, and I dilate every single day, twice a day. This one right here is the much better option. It's on Lvly. Sometimes you get it on sale for like $8 and you can get like 2 packs and it will last me like 2-3 months. So those are the 3 lubes that I experienced, and I always tell everyone to get Lvly. It's the best one. I hope that answers every single dilation questions out there, because I get them a lot and sometimes I'm like, you can watch this video. But let's move on to the next one. Dilation for the last 2 weeks for me, I've been getting a lot more blood just because after my appointment, so they found granulation tissue. They basically, if you haven't seen that video, it's here. It basically just like your healing tissue is built up on top of one another, so it's kind of create like a rougher surface inside, and it has like all those blood tissue and stuff. So what she did was she has to like scrape all of it out, and that makes my body bleed a little bit inside more. So yeah, I'm using the cream that they recommended, the Metro Gel, the Liquidane, and another cream that I have is called the Triumph Cinnamon. Okay, I totally butchered that, but forgive me. It helps with like itching, it helps with like the bleeding and stuff. So those are the things that I have to add on. You put it on top of the dilator, insert it in, so this way it can heal everything up inside. As she recommended, I have to douche every day for the next couple weeks. Douching just half solution of water and half solution of vinegar, and that should be good. It stops with the bleeding, it doesn't smell, and it cleans everything up inside nicely. Physically, the good thing is I can sit on hard surface right now. It took me so long to sit on hard surface just because everything is so swollen down there. But still, when I'm sitting for a long period of time, I do have some problems after. So I'm working on that. My physical health is better, but it's not where I want it to be. I'm still going to physical therapy once a week. I'm working on my body, and every time I'm at my last session, they always have to extend it just to make sure that I'm in a better condition. We're trying to stabilize it and make sure that I'm building strength right now. I can go slow, but make sure that it's steady. I do get discharged daily, and I do get blood every time I finish my physical therapy session. You use a lot of muscle right there, and then also work on the abdomen problems, which is like the stomach, the back. Those I really am struggling with, and we're working on it. My physical therapist is great. He's very understanding, push me when I need to, and also let me relax when my body calls for it. In terms of like weight issue, I have a lot of problems. So when I first got out of the surgery, I lost like 30 pounds. And then I've gained the weight back slowly, but right now I'm like at the biggest that I've ever been. I mean, it makes my breasts look great, but the thing about it is like, you know, I need to work on it to be better. I'm like skinny fat right now, and just need to tone down, just need to like work on my body more, just because when you start consuming food regularly again, but your body cannot work out as much like before, it's not easy for me to burn all the carbs off, and it's a journey, and I'm working on it. I can swim sometimes, no problems. I remember I used to like be very afraid. I'm like, what if I'm like bleeding out the whole pool? Like, I don't want to have that situation. Underwater, I feel like I'm moving a little bit better. So yeah, I really enjoy it. But I was aiming for rock climbing, but that dream probably is gonna take another year. So I mentioned it before, but my stomach is still very bloated. I have problems with it, you know. My stomach used to be very flat. I used to do sit-up and stuff, but I can't do it right now. I still have problem with laying on my stomach. Like, I don't lay on my stomach ever, and every time I do it in physical therapy, it feels very uncomfortable. In terms of mental health, this was recommended from the very beginning from my surgeon, from my main provider. I'm from an immigrant family. We don't talk about mental health issue. We don't really, like, it's kind of like a taboo subject. Talking to someone who experienced can make a tremendous difference. I really enjoy my therapist, so I'm glad that I'm doing session with her. That's also once a week now. Hopefully it can decrease in time as my need for her is less asked for. Emotional state, I think that I'm a much stronger person just because of everything that I went through. One of my biggest fear was like being naked in public and going through my surgery with like everybody going in, checking on me, different nurses, different doctors, just like me, just like showing everything out there. It really made me feel very comfortable with my skin. Like right now, if I happen to be naked in public, it's not the worst thing. Like, I'm proud of my body. I feel like in a way that make me a stronger person, and it's kind of make me go over that like little silly thing that I had, you know, little silly fear. I swear to you, by the time you get out of the hospital, you completely become shameless. I remember even showing it to my mom and my sister, like my new vagina, and they were just like completely in awe and amazed by it. And I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be more scary, but I was just like, whoop, done. That was it. They're very supportive. Everybody telling me it's beautiful, but I'm like, yeah, I guess it is right now. You know, in the beginning, I think I was very much skeptical. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's so swollen and purple and all stitched up. What do you mean it's beautiful? But right now, I kind of see it. You know, I'm not an expert, but now on to the question portion of the video. You guys have asked me a lot of questions, but if it's like already answered in the video, I'm not gonna answer it. I'm just gonna go into different questions. This one is from Mira Floyd. You have been following me for a while. I recognize who you are. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. Congrats on coming up on a year. My question is there anything that you would tell your past self now so that you felt more prepared for your gender confirmation surgery? Really appreciate you sharing your experiences and creating a safe place for discussion. Much love. Honestly, I did everything that I was meant to do. I prepared for everything. Even my surgeon office told me that like I'm so prepared, and they really impressed with me. I have everything from my calendar. I narrow everything. I had like an alarm clock going on each session of dilation. I prepared for everything that I could. Complications happen. Unexpected things happened. They weren't even prepared for it. In the first hour of my complication and bleeding out, they did not know what to do, so how could I prepare for that? But the thing about it is, what I could say to my past self now, knowing that I had really good support system around me, people who would do everything and anything for me, that I'm gonna be okay. I guess in a way, when I was bleeding out, I had a moment in my head that I'm just like, I'm gonna be okay. Like, I went through so much already. I know I'm gonna be okay. This is a hurdle that I have to get through, but I'm gonna be okay. Like, I remember telling myself that. I was like fading in a way, like blood coming out. I was like this, but in my head, I remember I was like, come on, stay strong, be there. Just believing in yourself that you're gonna make it out. And complication like mine doesn't happen often. I was the second person that it ever happened to after hundreds and hundreds of surgeries that I do every year. I'm counting my blessing. This one from Robin Thomas. Hi Vikki, I would be interested to know how long did recovery take? How disruptive is the need to dilate? And how did you choose between full depth vaginoplasty and zero depth just labiaplasty? I'm on the path myself, and it's a decision I won't have to make for years. Yet, I would think. But it's nice to be able to plan. Thank you. How long did recovery take? I'm still recovering, and this is like a year, a little bit over a year already. I still have a lot of challenges, as you've seen earlier in the video. But you know, recovery could take forever, or some people would never recover 100%. Depends on the drama that I went through. Like for me, that's what I'm dealing with my therapist. For now, I think I'm in a better position, but like, can I really say that you really recover completely? Not 100% yet for me. And there are people who have botched surgeries and I don't think they would ever recover. You just have to be grateful and thankful for what you have gone through and see how far you come rather than seeing where the destination is. I never really set a destination for my surgery because I feel like it's kind of impossible. I just feel like this is another chapter that I'm going through, and my next chapter might include it or might not, and that's okay too. How disruptive for the dilation vary. The first 6 months was extremely difficult. I really didn't feel like I had any time for myself. Why I had all the time for myself? Because everything that you do is just to maintain the surgery, the functionality of it. It's very, very difficult. Every time I wake up, I'm taking pills, painkillers, I have to eat, I have to dilate, and then as I'm laying down for another hour, I have to wake up, I have to dilate. Time just went by so fast, and the little time that you have for yourself is so little. But I had my friend Isabel here, which I'm so thankful for. She was taking care of me. I have my boyfriend, I have my family who checked up on me. They made it easier for myself, but at the same time, I was the person who had to go through all of it physically, and like they cannot dilate for me, they cannot do anything else for me. They were there for emotional support, and I really appreciate it. But the disruptive, the time-consuming stuff, you deal with it yourself. The only thing that I can tell you is, I kept telling myself, I went through so much already, I'm not about to give up at this moment. In terms of like choosing between vaginoplasty, I always knew, I'm like, why would I have the surgery and only have zero depth? The whole point of it was for me to use it. I know some people get it for just cosmetic reason. They want to have how it looks outside. But for me, I'm just like, I'm going in 100%. I'm doing it. I want to use it. I want to be able to feel everything. And I'm so happy that I'm able to feel everything. All right, this one from Frank, June 1947. Assuming that you recover from surgery and that you are pain-free, how has surgery affected urination frequently and control? Was there any problem starting and stopping when visiting the bathroom? And is there any leakage through the day that requires the use of penny liners, for example? Any soreness or need to use cream or soothing gels? The first 3 months was the hardest because at nighttime, I urinated like 20 times a night. And that really disrupted with my sleep. And when I don't get enough sleep, I'm emotional. So it was hard. It was really, really difficult, and it made me cry all the time because I'm just like, why? I was just thinking to myself, like, why can't I empty out my bladder completely? After everything that your body went through, your body was like basically put to sleep. Now it's slowly waking up. You're learning to use the muscle. Everything's slowly healing. Like when you get spasming and stuff too, I was like, what is happening? But it means that everything's waking up. It means that everything is working. When you feel sensation, it's working. So yes, in the beginning, I use penny liners. Sometimes I still use it just because when I dilate and there's blood or something, and discharge, just because from granulation tissue, it builds up everything, so it's create like bleeding, some discharge. You know, it's a little bit inconvenience, yes, but it's minor, you know, compared to like what you went through already. Soreness I sometimes feel, but it's very, very normal for me. Sometimes when I'm like pulling a muscle or like lifting something a little bit more heavy, I feel like a pull and tug right there, but that's it. Vivian Miller said, what was some of the emotional issue you have, if any, post-op? Emotional issue I'm still dealing with. I had a lot of trigger, like sometimes a certain smell, or like if I see blood coming out, it triggered me back to when I was having my complication in the hospital and everybody was like pinning me down to the bed while I was screaming out for help. How do you handle those? Get a therapist. It really helps. Also, do you ever have any discomfort or feeling like your parts aren't really what they're supposed to be, even knowing that you had the operation? For 2 weeks after surgery, I had moments where I feel like I'm being tucked inside and it's kind of uncomfortable. I had so many moments I'm like, I'm gonna use my hands and reach in and pull everything out because it's so uncomfortable. But I think it's just the painkillers, the sleep deprived thing, you feeling really emotional, you feel like you want to do something impulsive. I'm glad that I didn't. So yeah, I mean, after a while it settled in and you just feel like, you know what? This is where I'm supposed to be. For a major surgery like that, it's not gonna happen overnight that you're gonna feel like you're healed or complete. Like even now, you know, I'm happier. When I look inside, I don't feel the need to like pull anything out. I'm happy with it, you know, I have a very functional vagina. Thank you for the videos. You are an invaluable resource and role model for the community. And I see you and I appreciate all that you do. Thank you, Vivian. Trust no one. Love that name. I understand that they largely use the scrotum to create a vaginal canal. How did you deal with the hair? Because it seemed like no hair removal is entirely permanent. I had 6 sessions of hair removal prior to my surgery. Extremely painful. I had my checkup a week ago and I asked her to look inside and she said, nope, there's nothing inside, everything looks fine, everything looks normal. So I'm happy. The hair on the outside of your vagina, although it's growing a little bit back, I'm like a little landing strip. So it's normal. I think depends on how your hair follicle is, they would choose a kind of method to do it for you. I didn't get electrolysis. I never did. Even up here, it was hair removal strictly. Because I have like fairer skin complexion, but like darker hair follicle. So they said hair laser removal is the best. So that's what I did. Leah C, hi Leah C, I recognize you also. Most of the questions that I could think of have been asked above, except no easy way of putting this. How much less sweaty and uncomfortable is it down there? I have the operation in hopefully October or November, and to be honest, I'm never gonna wear tight underwear ever again. It's never been sweaty down there. I mean, summer, like you sweat no matter what genitalia that you have. Uncomfortable, in the beginning, yeah, it feels uncomfortable, it feels strange, but now it feels very, very normal for me. Congratulations on the operation coming soon. I don't know if this is an overshare, but now if I'm wearing like a thong or something, I feel like my vagina is eating it. So it's uncomfortable right there. I like the very silky, satiny, or cotton, 100% cotton, you know, like seamless underwear. Those are so comfortable. I love those. And a lot of time I don't wear any underwear just because. Catalina Mongo, please correct me if I say your name wrong. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is like when people pronounce my name wrong. So please correct me when I said it wrong. But Catalina asks, I will be getting gender confirmation very soon in September 13. Oh my God, you had it already. Congrats. I hope you're doing well. And my question is, which douche do you use to clean the inside V canal? And which has worked and which has irritated down there? She spelled which, like which. Love you and keep sharing your story because you're really helpful to a lot of us trans women to prepare for gender confirmation surgery. From yours truly, Catalina. Congratulations, Catalina, really I mean it. I hope you're doing well. The douche that you come home with in the hospital, those are the best one. I make a mistake of throwing them out, so I have to use the one from the convenience store and stuff, but keep the one that they give you. Those are the best one. They have like the long string that you can like use it. If you have to buy it again, it's on Amazon and it's so expensive. So Ben Leager said, certain words I'm just gonna not say just because I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. If you are, you know, intercourse active, what's that like and how long did it take for you, your mind and your soul to connect with having a kitty? And what was that like? For a while, I kind of stay away from down there. I just like use it for dilation and that's it. I don't play around or anything. But during Christmas time, I think it was Christmas Eve, I was like finished dilation and just feel really pent up frustration. And I just kind of like looped up already. And I went downtown and I had a lot of fun. And I was able to not only have, you know, the physical outcome, but also the emotional outcome. And it felt great, you know, it releases all the stress. It felt amazing knowing that you have a vagina that works. That was like what, 6 months? Yeah. Jason Garner said, what is the most important thing to do before having the surgery? And what does it feel like when you were able to have intercourse? And I hope that it's not too personal because I'm also thinking about the same surgery once I start becoming a woman myself. I would say that the most important thing to do before having the surgery is knowing that this is what you want, so you are sure about it, because it's irreversible. What does it feel like having intercourse? It felt great. I feel belong in my body. I feel like I'm doing everything's right. It's less messy, it feels good. It makes my intimate life way better. Lvly asks, "Hey girl, I hope this isn't too personal, but I'm getting my gender reassignment surgery next year. I was wondering if you got good depth and how many inches your surgery achieved. Because when I get surgery, the depth is very important to me." I got really good depth. I mean, I got like this much, so that's a lot. The thing about it too also is like your surgeon's able to give you good depth. You just have to maintain it, and that is dilation. So in order for you to keep it, dilate. Rihanna Khan asks, "Is it possible to have orgasm through penetration only? I know it's personal, but it would help out so many people looking for the answer." I'm very, very lucky, and I told my surgeon that, and she's really happy about it, that I'm able to achieve orgasm with or without penetration. I also don't think that it's promised to every single patient out there. People said that like you can start having intercourse and stuff after 4 months, but for me, I waited until 6 months to do everything. Chris M said, "I'm always so worried about the pain right after surgery. Is the pain a 10 on 10 where I really need oxycontin?" Second question is, I hear from many trans women I follow that it takes around a year to orgasm and self-lube. Was that relatable to you as well? It's one of my biggest concerns. It wasn't that painful except when they pull out the dressing. It was everything after. My back pain, my stomach pain, I couldn't do things. The second that I get discharged, I only take Tylenol as my painkillers, and I took it every 3 to 4 hours. Other than that, I did not take anything else that highly addictive, because I don't want to be addicted to pills. So I told myself that like, you know what, I'm not gonna take oxycontin, because in the hospital the whole time, that's all I wanted. It took me 6 months to orgasm, and self-lube, you don't really produce that much to be able to like completely self-lube. Like you do have you know, some lubrication in there just from the intestine that I use. So it's like kind of self-lube. It's kind of like moist, but it's not 100% like so wet that you don't need lube. Hana Gandiza said, "Some of my friends have had family members that post-surgery and felt depressed from not being able to orgasm the way they used to. Has that been an issue for you at all?" I think that's very legitimate to be concerned about that, because who would want something that doesn't work? But it's not guaranteed to every single person. There are many, many layers and of complexity that everybody goes through, because everybody's different. So despite the complication that I went through, I'm very happy that I'm able to feel, I'm able to orgasm, and I'm able to use the full functionality. I'm one of the lucky cases, but I don't think that's guaranteed for so many people. Some people do have revision just to get everything working. I still have a couple more questions that I'm gonna have to include in the next video. So thank you so much for sending in your question. I hope I answered most of it. Thank you for being such a loyal subscriber. Thank you for watching my videos every week. Thank you for being a part of this family. Now, if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.